Mystics and Miracles, the Unseen Forces That Shape Our World. Written and published by the Zillion Pro. Throughout history, humanity has been captivated by the supernatural, the forces beyond the visible world that influence our reality in ways we often cannot explain. Across cultures, religions, and philosophies, tales of mystics, miracles, and divine interventions have shaped the way people understand life, purpose, and destiny. Whether through the visions of prophets, the inexplicable healings of saints, or the strange coincidences that defy logic, the unseen forces of the universe continue to spark wonder and debate. But what if these occurrences were not just myths or exaggerations? What if behind the miraculous lies a deeper truth, one that science, spirituality, and mysticism are only beginning to uncover? In an age of technology and rationalism, the question remains, do miracles still happen? Are mystical experiences real, or are they mere tricks of the mind? Is there an underlying force governing the events of our lives? This book, Mystics and Miracles, the Unseen Forces That Shape Our World, embarks on a journey to explore these profound questions. It examines the lives of mystics, those who claim to have transcended ordinary reality to glimpse higher truths. It examines miracles, extraordinary events that seem to defy natural laws. And it investigates the hidden forces that may be operating beneath the surface of existence, influencing human fate in ways we are yet to comprehend. A journey into the supernatural. Mysticism is not confined to one religion, culture, or era. From ancient shamans to modern spiritual seekers, mystics have reported encounters with divine beings, ecstatic visions, and profound wisdom that often reshaped entire civilizations. Miracles, too, are found in every tradition, from the parting of the Red Sea in the Bible to miraculous healings at sacred sites. Even in the scientific age, reports of supernatural events persist, challenging the notion that reality is strictly material. While the rational mind often seeks to dismiss miracles as mere coincidence or psychological phenomena, emerging fields in science, such as quantum physics, neurotheology, and consciousness studies, are beginning to shed light on the hidden nature of reality. Can the mind influence matter? Can focused intention create real-world changes? Could what we call miracles be manifestations of deeper universal laws we have yet to fully understand? By weaving together ancient wisdom and modern insights, this book aims to bridge the gap between skepticism and belief. It invites readers to consider that perhaps the extraordinary is not only possible but woven into the very fabric of existence, an invitation to the unknown. As you turn the pages, you will encounter stories that defy logic, teachings that challenge conventional thought, and ideas that invite you to expand your perception of what is possible. Whether you are a believer, a seeker, or a skeptic, this book encourages you to explore with an open mind and a curious heart. Are we truly alone in the universe, or are there forces beyond our perception shaping our reality? The answers may lie just beyond the veil of the scene, waiting to be discovered by those willing to look. Welcome to Mystics and Miracles, the Unseen Forces That Shape Our World. The journey begins now. Chapter 1. The Mystic's Journey, Pathways to Higher Consciousness. The Call to the Unknown. Throughout history, there have been individuals who seem to walk between worlds, people whose insights, visions, and experiences transcend ordinary perception. They are called mystics. From the hermits of the desert to the sages of the East, from Christian saints to Sufi dervishes, mystics share a common journey, one of profound inner transformation, spiritual awakening, and direct communion with the unseen forces that shape our world. But what makes a mystic? Is it divine selection, personal devotion, or an innate ability to perceive beyond the physical? Are mystical experiences the result of disciplined spiritual practice, or do they occur spontaneously, striking individuals like lightning from the heavens? Who are the mystics? Mystics are individuals who claim to have direct experiences of divine or transcendent realities. Unlike theologians, who rely on intellectual reasoning to understand the divine, mystics experience it firsthand. Their encounters are often ineffable, beyond words, yet their lives leave a lasting imprint on the world. Mystics can be found in all religious and spiritual traditions. Christian mystics, figures like Saint Teresa of Avila, Meister Eckhart, and Saint John of the Cross describe deep states of union with God. Sufi mystics, poets like Rumi and Al-Ghazali spoke of divine love and the ecstatic journey toward unity with the beloved. Hindu and Buddhist mystics, yogis and monks such as Ramana Maharshi and Milarepa pursued enlightenment through meditation and self-realization. Indigenous shamans, spiritual leaders in Native American, African, and Amazonian traditions use rituals and altered states of consciousness to communicate with the spirit world. Despite their cultural differences, all mystics share a fundamental truth, a deep, personal encounter with a reality beyond the material world. The common stages of the mystic's journey. While each mystic's path is unique, their journeys often follow a similar pattern. These stages reflect the transformation of ordinary consciousness into a higher, transcendent awareness. 1. The awakening, a glimpse beyond the veil. The journey begins with a moment of awakening, a sudden realization that reality is far more profound than what meets the eye. This can be triggered by various events, a near-death experience or moment of extreme crisis, a deep spiritual experience during prayer or meditation, an encounter with an enlightened teacher, a spontaneous vision or mystical revelation. This initial awakening ignites an insatiable desire to seek deeper truths, pushing the individual onto the mystic's path. 2. The purification, stripping away the illusions. Before one can experience true divine union, there is often a stage of purification. Mystics undergo inner trials, facing their fears, desires, and attachments. This stage often involves solitude and contemplation, fasting and self-discipline, letting go of ego-based attachments, facing and overcoming personal suffering. This process refines the mystic's perception, allowing them to see reality more clearly. 3. The illumination, the light of higher knowledge. After purification comes illumination, an influx of divine wisdom and insight. Mystics at this stage experience profound clarity, often describing moments of divine light or overwhelming love. Prophetic visions and spiritual revelations. Deep inner peace and bliss. Enhanced intuition and supernatural abilities. Many mystics use poetry, philosophy, or art to express what they have encountered, though they often struggle to fully capture their experiences in words. 4. The dark night of the soul, a test of faith. Not all mystical journeys are filled with light. Many mystics go through a stage of intense spiritual desolation, known as the dark night of the soul. First described by St. John of the Cross, this phase is characterized by a feeling of divine abandonment, profound doubt and inner emptiness, intense longing for divine presence without response. This stage is crucial because it purifies the soul even further, stripping away attachment to spiritual highs and deepening one's faith beyond personal experience. 5. The union, becoming one with the divine. The final stage is divine union, a complete merging of the self with the ultimate reality. This is the goal of all mystics, where individual identity dissolves into the infinite. Those who reach this state often display extraordinary wisdom, boundless compassion, and an unshakable peace. Practices that lead to mystical awareness. Mystical experiences do not happen by accident. Throughout history, mystics have cultivated their abilities through specific practices, many of which remain accessible today. 1. Meditation and contemplation. Meditation is the cornerstone of mystical practice. By stilling the mind, mystics can access higher states of consciousness. Techniques vary, including Christian contemplative prayer, silent communion with God, practiced by monks and saints. Sufi dhikr, repetitive chanting of divine names to induce spiritual ecstasy. Buddhist vipassana, insight meditation that reveals the nature of reality. 2. Fasting and asceticism. Many mystics practice fasting, not as mere deprivation but as a way to purify the body and mind. By abstaining from physical indulgences, they heighten their spiritual sensitivity. 3. Sacred chanting and sound vibrations. The use of sacred sounds, mantras, psalms, and hymns has long been a gateway to mystical states. Sound is believed to alter consciousness, open spiritual channels, and connect the individual with divine frequencies. 4. Solitude and silence. Isolation is a common theme in mystical traditions. Many mystics retreat to deserts, mountains, or monasteries to remove distractions and focus entirely on inner transformation. 5. The practice of love and compassion. Mystics across traditions emphasize that the highest spiritual state is one of love. Acts of kindness, selfless service, and unconditional love are seen as direct pathways to divine connection. The mystical experience, a glimpse into the infinite. Mystics describe their experiences as overwhelming encounters with an intelligence beyond human comprehension. Many speak of feeling one with the universe, seeing radiant, divine light, hearing celestial music, understanding truths beyond words. These experiences often leave mystics forever transformed, unable to return to ordinary ways of thinking and living. The modern mystic: is mysticism still relevant today? In a world dominated by technology and rational thought, is there still a place for mystics? The answer is a resounding yes. While modern mysticism may not always look like the monastic traditions of old, many people today are exploring altered states of consciousness through meditation, psychedelics, deep prayer, and near-death experiences. The search for ultimate truth remains as strong as ever. The path is open to all. The mystic's journey is not reserved for a select few. It is open to anyone willing to seek beyond the material world. Whether through meditation, prayer, contemplation, or acts of love, the doorway to higher consciousness is always within reach. For those who dare to step beyond the limits of conventional perception, the unseen forces of the universe reveal themselves, guiding the seeker toward the greatest of all miracles, the realization of their true, divine nature. Chapter 2. Prophets, sages, and visionaries, messengers of the divine. Since the dawn of civilization, certain individuals have emerged who claim to receive messages from a higher power: prophets, sages, and visionaries. Their words have shaped nations, founded religions, and inspired movements that continue to influence millions today. Whether they come from the deserts of the Middle East, the mountains of Asia, or the forests of Africa, these messengers share a common trait: they bridge the human and the divine, bringing wisdom, warnings, and revelations that often challenge the status quo. But who are these messengers? Are they chosen by God, or do they possess unique spiritual qualities that enable them to receive divine communication? Are their prophecies supernatural, or can they be explained through psychology, intuition, or even quantum consciousness? The role of prophets, sages, and visionaries. 1. The prophet, the divine messenger. A prophet is someone who claims to receive direct revelations from a higher power, often with a mission to deliver divine messages to humanity. These messages can be warnings, guidance, or visions of the future. Prophets are found in nearly every major religious tradition. In Judaism and Christianity, Moses, Isaiah, and Jeremiah conveyed God's commandments and foretold future events. In Islam, Muhammad is considered the last prophet, receiving revelations that became the Quran. In Hinduism, figures like Vyasa and Narada received divine wisdom and spread it through sacred texts. In indigenous traditions, shamans act as prophets, channeling messages from ancestral spirits and the forces of nature. 2. The sage, the seeker of wisdom. Unlike prophets, sages do not always claim divine revelation but instead attain wisdom through deep contemplation, philosophical inquiry, and spiritual practice. They act as guides to those seeking enlightenment and self-realization. In China, Confucius and Laozi laid the foundations of ethical and mystical wisdom. In Greece, Socrates, Plato, and Pythagoras explored metaphysical truths. In India, sages like Patanjali and Adi Shankara developed spiritual philosophies that continue to shape Hindu thought. 3. The visionary, the seer of hidden realities. Visionaries receive insights, often through dreams, mystical trances, or near-death experiences. Unlike prophets, who deliver messages to entire communities, visionaries may experience deeply personal revelations. Some visionaries have changed the course of history. Joan of Arc, the peasant girl who claimed to hear divine voices guiding her to lead France to victory. Saint Hildegard of Bingen, a medieval nun whose vision shaped Christian theology and music. Black Elk, a Native American shaman who received profound visions of the spiritual world. Though different in their roles, all these figures share one thing: they perceive a reality beyond ordinary human experience. Common traits of divine messengers. Despite differences in time, culture, and background, prophets, sages, and visionaries share common characteristics. 1. A profound spiritual awakening. Most divine messengers experience an awakening event that transforms them completely. This may come in the form of a direct encounter with a divine being, for example, Moses and the burning bush. A mystical dream or vision, for example, Muhammad's first revelation in the cave of Hira. A near-death experience that alters their perception of reality. 2. The period of solitude and preparation. Before delivering their message, many prophets and sages undergo a period of isolation, meditation, or asceticism. Examples include Jesus fasting for 40 days in the wilderness, Buddha meditating under the Bodhi tree before attaining enlightenment, Muhammad retreating to Mount Hira before receiving the Quran. This period serves as spiritual purification, allowing them to receive and interpret divine revelations. 3. The gift of prophecy or wisdom. Divine messengers often possess abilities beyond ordinary human perception, such as foreseeing future events, for example, Nostradamus's cryptic predictions, speaking in parables that reveal deep truths, for example, Jesus' teachings, profound insights into human nature and the cosmos, for example, Confucius's moral philosophy. 4. Resistance and persecution. Nearly all prophets and visionaries face opposition. Their messages often challenge political, religious, or social systems, leading to rejection, exile, or even execution. Examples include Socrates being sentenced to death for corrupting the youth with his philosophical ideas, Joan of Arc burned at the stake for her divine visions, Muhammad persecuted in Mecca before gaining followers in Medina. Their willingness to endure suffering for their message is a defining mark of their authenticity. 5. The power to inspire and transform. Despite opposition, divine messengers leave a lasting impact, often sparking religious movements, revolutions, or shifts in human consciousness. Their teachings continue to shape society centuries after their passing. The nature of divine communication. How do prophets and sages receive their revelations? There are several theories. 1. Direct divine revelation. Some religious traditions believe that God directly communicates with chosen individuals, conveying messages through voices, visions, or sacred texts. 2. Intuitive or psychic perception. Modern psychology suggests that some individuals may have heightened intuition, allowing them to perceive future events or hidden truths subconsciously. 3. Altered states of consciousness. Meditation, fasting, and deep contemplation can induce mystical experiences where individuals feel connected to a greater intelligence. This is common in Buddhist enlightenment experiences, Sufi whirling meditations, Christian contemplative prayer. 4. Quantum consciousness and the collective mind. Some modern scientists propose that consciousness may be non-local, meaning great visionaries may tap into a universal source of wisdom beyond time and space. Lessons from the prophets and sages. Even if one does not consider themselves religious, there is much to learn from divine messengers. 1. Cultivate inner silence. Many sages emphasize the importance of solitude, meditation, and reflection as a path to deeper wisdom. 2. Seek truth, even when it's uncomfortable. True prophets do not conform to societal expectations, they challenge falsehood and pursue truth, no matter the cost. 3. Serve others with compassion. At the heart of all prophetic teachings is a call to love, serve, and uplift humanity. 4. Be open to higher wisdom. Whether through dreams, intuition, or direct revelation, divine messages often come in unexpected ways. Remaining open allows one to receive guidance from beyond the material world. Are there modern prophets and visionaries? While ancient prophets may seem distant from the modern world, new visionaries continue to emerge. In every era, individuals arise who challenge injustice, receive profound insights, and lead humanity toward greater understanding. Some may call them prophets, others thought leaders, philosophers, or spiritual teachers, but the role remains the same. Perhaps the next great messenger is already among us. Perhaps, in some way, we all have the potential to awaken the prophetic voice within. As we move forward, let us ask, what wisdom are we ignoring? What truths are waiting to be revealed? And who are the messengers of our time? Chapter 3. The Secrets of Altered States of Consciousness. Unlocking the Hidden Realms of the Mind. Throughout history, humanity has sought to transcend ordinary consciousness and access deeper, mystical states of awareness. From ancient shamans to modern neuroscientists, there has always been a fascination with altered states of consciousness, ASCs, mental conditions in which perception, cognition, and self-awareness are profoundly transformed. But what are these states? Are they mere hallucinations, or do they reveal hidden dimensions of reality? Can they be deliberately induced, and if so, what can they teach us about the nature of existence and the potential of the human mind? What are altered states of consciousness? An altered state of consciousness, ASC, is any condition of mind that differs significantly from the normal waking state. In an ASC, one may experience heightened or distorted sensory perception, a sense of unity with the universe, deep insights and revelations, hallucinations or visions, out-of-body experiences, a feeling of timelessness. Altered states can be triggered intentionally or unintentionally through meditation, hypnosis, near-death experiences, psychedelic substances, deep prayer, or even extreme physical exertion. Types of altered states of consciousness. 1. Mystical and transcendent states. These are profound spiritual experiences where individuals feel a deep connection with a higher power, the universe, or their true self. They often involve a sense of oneness with all existence, loss of ego or self-identity, divine revelations or insights, profound inner peace. Examples: the Sufi whirling dance, where practitioners enter ecstatic states of union with God. The Buddhist state of Satori, enlightenment, where one experiences sudden spiritual awakening. Christian mystics, like Saint Teresa of Avila, reporting deep union with the divine. 2. Hypnagogic and dream states. The hypnagogic state occurs between wakefulness and sleep. It often includes vivid imagery and hallucinations, feelings of floating or paralysis, deep symbolic or premonitory dreams. Examples: Nikola Tesla and Thomas Edison used hypnagogia for creative problem solving. Shamans worldwide use dream states for spiritual guidance. Ancient Egyptians believed in prophetic dreams revealing the future. 3. Psychedelic and entheogenic states. Psychedelics like LSD, psilocybin, and ayahuasca induce radical shifts in perception, often leading to deep spiritual or philosophical insights. Users frequently report seeing vivid patterns, colors, and sacred geometry, feeling connected to the universe or higher consciousness, confronting past traumas and gaining healing insights. Examples: indigenous Amazonian shamans using ayahuasca for spiritual journeys. Mystical experiences reported by users of psilocybin mushrooms. The famous ego death phenomenon, where personal identity dissolves into universal awareness. 4. Near-death experiences, NDEs. Many people who have come close to death report profound and life-changing experiences, including seeing a bright light or tunnel, meeting deceased loved ones or divine beings, a life review where they witness past events in vivid detail, a sense of overwhelming peace and unconditional love. Examples: Dr. Ibn Alexander, a neurosurgeon, had a powerful NDE that changed his understanding of consciousness. Raymond Moody's book Life After Life documented thousands of similar accounts. 5. Meditation and deep trance states. Meditation has long been used to achieve altered states of consciousness, leading to a loss of bodily awareness, out-of-body experiences, deep insights about existence and the nature of the self, a heightened sense of energy or vibration. Examples: Buddhist monks reaching deep states of samadhi, where they transcend thought and identity. Yogis practicing Kriya Yoga, reporting access to higher dimensions of reality. 6. Flow states and peak performance. Flow states occur when a person is so deeply immersed in an activity that time seems to disappear, and performance reaches extraordinary levels. Characteristics include total focus and effortless action, a loss of self-consciousness, feelings of deep joy and fulfillment. Examples: elite athletes entering the zone during peak performance. Musicians and artists experiencing creative flow, where ideas seem to emerge effortless. Writers or programmers working 4 hours without fatigue, fully absorbed in their craft. The science of altered states of consciousness. Modern neuroscience has begun to unravel the mechanisms behind ASCs. Research suggests that the default mode network, DMN, responsible for self-referential thoughts, becomes less active during deep meditation and psychedelic experiences. Brainwave changes occur, shifting from normal waking beta waves to slower alpha, theta, or even delta waves during meditation, hypnosis, and trances. Neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine play key roles in producing altered states, affecting perception, mood, and cognition. The pineal gland, often called the third eye, may produce DMT, a compound linked to mystical experiences, spiritual and metaphysical interpretations. Many traditions believe that ASCs open gateways to higher dimensions of existence. Some theories include 1. The Akashic Records theory. Some mystics claim that altered states allow access to a universal library of cosmic knowledge, where all past, present, and future events exist simultaneously. 2. The multidimensional consciousness theory. Certain ASCs may allow individuals to temporarily shift into parallel realities or higher dimensions, explaining visions, prophetic dreams, and encounters with spiritual beings. 3. The non-local mind theory. Quantum consciousness theories suggest that consciousness is not confined to the brain but exists in a larger field, allowing people to access information beyond ordinary perception. How to induce altered states safely. For those seeking deeper experiences, there are many safe and natural methods. 1. Meditation and breathwork techniques like Vipassana, Kundalini breathing, and holotropic breathwork can induce powerful shifts in consciousness. 2. Sensory deprivation isolation tanks remove external stimuli, allowing the mind to enter deep, dreamlike states. 3. Lucid dreaming training yourself to become aware in dreams can unlock higher levels of consciousness. For chanting and sound frequencies, sacred sounds like AUM or binaural beats can alter brain waves and induce trance-like states. 5. Fasting and sleep deprivation used by mystics to weaken attachment to the material world and heighten spiritual perception. The future of consciousness exploration. As science and spirituality converge, humanity stands on the edge of a new understanding of consciousness. Will future technology allow us to access these states at will? Will research into psychedelics and meditation lead to breakthroughs in human potential? Or are we only scratching the surface of what the mind is capable of? One thing is certain, altered states of consciousness hold the keys to deeper wisdom, profound transformation, and possibly even the next step in human evolution. Are you ready to explore the hidden dimensions of your own mind? Chapter 4. Miracles that change the course of history. When the impossible becomes reality. Throughout history, there have been moments when the natural order of things was seemingly suspended, events so extraordinary, they defied explanation and left an undeniable mark on humanity. These miracles, whether religious, supernatural, or inexplicably coincidental, have shaped civilizations, altered the fate of nations, and inspired millions. But what defines a miracle? Is it simply an event that defies logic, or does it require divine intervention? Are miracles subjective, dependent on one's belief system, or do they represent hidden laws of the universe yet to be understood by science? Ancient miracles that shaped civilization. 1. The parting of the Red Sea, c. 13th century BCE. One of the most famous miracles in religious history is the biblical account of Moses parting the Red Sea, allowing the Israelites to escape Pharaoh's army. According to the book of Exodus, the waters miraculously divided, creating a path for safe passage before collapsing upon the pursuing Egyptian soldiers. Impact on history cemented the belief in divine intervention in the Judeo-Christian tradition, became a foundational story for Jewish, Christian, and Islamic faiths, inspired countless religious and cultural interpretations of divine deliverance. Possible explanations. Some scientists propose that strong winds, known as the wind set-down effect, could have temporarily pushed back shallow waters. Another theory suggests an underwater earthquake could have created a temporary land bridge. 2. The Oracle of Delphi prophesies, c. 8th century BCE, 4th century CE. In ancient Greece, the Oracle of Delphi, a priestess known as the Pythia, was said to receive divine messages from Apollo. Her prophecies influenced wars, political decisions, and the course of entire empires. Impact on history. Greek leaders, including Alexander the Great, sought guidance from the oracle before making key decisions. The Delphic prophecies shaped the expansion and governance of Greek civilization. Possible explanations. Recent studies suggest that ethylene gases from fissures beneath the temple may have induced trance-like states, leading to visions. The ambiguity of the oracle's statements allowed for multiple interpretations, giving them an air of accuracy. Miracles that changed religious history. 3. The resurrection of Jesus Christ, c. 30 CE. Christianity's foundation is built on the miracle of Jesus Christ's resurrection. According to the New Testament, 3 days after his crucifixion, Jesus rose from the dead, appeared to his followers, and ascended into heaven. Impact on history. Christianity spread rapidly across the Roman Empire, eventually becoming the dominant faith of the Western world. Inspired centuries of theological debate, art, and literature. Influenced countless social, political, and cultural transformations. Possible explanations. Some scholars suggest Jesus may have survived crucifixion in a near-death state. Others argue that mass hallucinations or deeply symbolic storytelling could explain the resurrection accounts. 4. The miracles of Muhammad, 7th century CE. Islamic tradition describes several miracles performed by the Prophet Muhammad, including the splitting of the moon, providing water from his fingers, and the miraculous night journey, Isra and Miraj, where he ascended to heaven. Impact on history. Strengthened the faith of early Muslim communities. Played a crucial role in the expansion of Islam across the Arabian Peninsula and beyond. Inspired one of the world's largest religious movements, influencing over 1 billion people today. Possible explanations. The moon-splitting event could have been a celestial phenomenon misinterpreted as divine intervention. The night journey may have been a profound spiritual or visionary experience rather than a physical event. Miracles that altered the course of war and politics. 5. Constantine's vision of the cross, 312 CE. Before the Battle of the Milvian Bridge, Roman Emperor Constantine reportedly saw a vision of a cross in the sky, accompanied by the words in hoc signo vinces, in this sign, you shall conquer. Inspired, he ordered his soldiers to paint the Christian symbol on their shields and won a decisive victory. Impact on history. Led to Constantine's conversion to Christianity. Marked the beginning of Christianity's rise as the dominant religion of the Roman Empire. Resulted in the Edict of Milan, 313 CE, which granted religious tolerance to Christians. Possible explanations. Some historians suggest the vision may have been a sun halo or atmospheric phenomenon. Others believe Constantine strategically used the event to rally his troops under a unifying cause. 6. The miracle of the sun in Fatima, 1917. In Portugal, thousands of witnesses claim to have seen the sun dance in the sky, change colors, and emit strange lights. This event, known as the miracle of the sun, occurred after 3 children reported receiving messages from the Virgin Mary. Impact on history. Strengthened Catholic devotion worldwide. Fatima became a major pilgrimage site, visited by millions each year. The Vatican officially recognized the miracle, reinforcing belief in Marian apparitions. Possible explanations. Some suggest mass hysteria or optical illusions caused by staring at the sun. Atmospheric conditions, including rare meteorological phenomena, could have contributed. Scientific miracles that defied expectations. 7. The survival of Apollo 13, 1970, when NASA's Apollo 13 mission suffered a catastrophic oxygen tank explosion. The crew was stranded in space with dwindling resources. Against all odds, they executed a near-impossible return to Earth. Impact on history. Marked one of the greatest engineering rescues in history. Strengthened faith in human ingenuity and problem-solving under extreme pressure. Inspired future advancements in space travel and safety protocols. Possible explanations. The astronauts' survival was attributed to extraordinary teamwork, ingenuity, and precise calculations. Some believe divine intervention played a role in their safe return. Are miracles real? The stories in this chapter reveal that miracles, whether religious, historical, or scientific, have played a crucial role in shaping humanity's destiny. But the question remains, are miracles real, or do they simply represent the limits of our current understanding? From a spiritual perspective, miracles affirm the presence of higher powers guiding human affairs. From a scientific viewpoint, they challenge us to explore new explanations for the seemingly impossible. Perhaps miracles are not violations of natural laws but glimpses into a deeper reality, one where faith, consciousness, and the fabric of the universe intertwine. Do miracles still happen today? And if so, are we open to recognizing them when they occur? Chapter 5. The Science of Miracles, Fact or Fiction? For centuries, miracles have been considered divine interventions, acts of higher power defying natural laws. But as science advances, many of these extraordinary events are being examined under a new lens. Are miracles truly supernatural, or do they have logical explanations yet to be fully understood? Defining miracles, supernatural or natural phenomena. A miracle is often defined as an event that defies known natural laws, yet science is constantly evolving. What seemed miraculous centuries ago, electricity, vaccines, flight, is now explainable through physics, biology, and engineering. The three categories of miracles. 1. Religious miracles, events attributed to divine intervention, for example, healing miracles, apparitions. 2. Scientific miracles, unexplained phenomena that may have natural explanations, for example, spontaneous recoveries, near-death experiences. 3. Psychological miracles, events influenced by human consciousness, perception, and belief, for example, the placebo effect, mind-over-matter phenomena. The challenge lies in distinguishing whether an event is genuinely supernatural or if it simply reflects an aspect of reality that science has yet to understand. The physics of miracles. Can science explain the impossible? 1. Quantum mechanics and miracles. Quantum physics challenges our understanding of reality, suggesting that the universe operates in ways that defy classical logic. Wave-particle duality. An electron can exist as both a wave and a particle, suggesting that reality is shaped by observation. Could human consciousness influence miraculous events? Quantum entanglement. Particles separated by vast distances appear to communicate instantaneously. Some suggest this could explain remote healing or spiritual connections. The observer effect. The act of observing changes reality at a subatomic level. This raises questions about whether faith or focused intention can shape outcomes. Many physicists theorize that our current understanding of the universe is incomplete. If reality itself is not as fixed as we assume, could miracles be fluctuations in an unseen cosmic order? 2. The role of energy fields. Bioelectric fields. The human body emits an electromagnetic field, which influences health and consciousness. Some healers claim to manipulate these fields to promote recovery. Earth's electromagnetic fields, mystical experiences, and heightened states of awareness are often reported at places with unusual electromagnetic activity, for example, the pyramids, Machu Picchu, or Stonehenge. Dark matter and dark energy, comprising 95% of the universe, these unseen forces could hold the key to phenomena we currently label as miraculous. Could miracles be the result of interactions between energy fields we have yet to fully understand? The neuroscience of miracles, the power of the mind. 3. The placebo and nocebo effects. The placebo effect proves that belief alone can trigger physiological healing. The nocebo effect shows the opposite. Negative expectations can harm the body. Both demonstrate that the mind has a profound influence on physical reality. Could faith-based miracles operate through similar mechanisms? 4. Near-death experiences, NDEs, and mystical states. People who have had near-death experiences, NDEs, often report seeing a bright light, feeling an overwhelming sense of peace, encountering deceased loved ones or divine beings. Scientific explanations. DMT release. The brain naturally produces dimethyltryptamine, DMT, a powerful psychedelic, which could trigger visions. Lack of oxygen. Oxygen deprivation can cause hallucinations, making people perceive spiritual phenomena. Temporal lobe activation. Studies show that stimulation of the temporal lobe can induce mystical experiences. While science provides potential explanations, many NDE survivors insist their experiences were real, not hallucinations. Could these states reveal hidden aspects of consciousness? Medical miracles, when science can't explain healing. 5. Spontaneous remission. Cases of terminally ill patients recovering without medical explanation have been documented worldwide. Cancer patients declared incurable suddenly go into remission. People recover from severe injuries at an inexplicably rapid rate. Chronic illnesses vanish overnight. Scientific theories. The immune system's hidden potential. The body may have untapped regenerative abilities. Mind-body connection. Deep emotional healing or belief in recovery may trigger biological changes. Genetic switches. Could certain genes activate under extreme conditions, leading to miraculous healing? Despite medical progress, science cannot fully explain why some people defy the odds and experience spontaneous healing. Miracles and consciousness. The mind as a creative force. 6. The power of thought and intention. Experiments in mind-over-matter phenomena suggest that consciousness plays a role in shaping reality. Dr. Masaru Emoto's water experiments. Water molecules appeared to change structure when exposed to positive or negative thoughts. Random number generators (RNG) studies show that human intention can influence randomness in subtle ways. If thought can alter physical matter, is it possible that miracles are manifestations of human consciousness interacting with reality in ways we do not yet understand? Debunking miracles when science proves them false. While many events remain unexplained, science has debunked several so-called miracles. 7. The Turin Shroud, real or hoax? The Shroud of Turin, believed by many to be the burial cloth of Jesus, has undergone extensive scientific analysis. Carbon dating places it in the 14th century, not the 1st century. Chemical tests suggest it was artificially created. Despite these findings, believers argue that the shroud contains mysteries beyond what science can measure. Can science and miracles coexist? Are miracles simply misunderstood natural phenomena, or do they point to a reality beyond what science currently understands? 3 possible answers. 1. Miracles are real, and science will eventually discover their mechanisms. 2. Miracles are psychological or biological effects misinterpreted as divine. 3. Science and spirituality describe the same reality from different perspectives. Some miracles will likely be explained as science progresses. Others may remain mysterious, revealing hidden dimensions of reality. Faith and science do not need to be at odds, perhaps they are two sides of the same coin, working together to uncover the mysteries of existence. Do you believe in miracles, or do you think they are just anomalies waiting for scientific explanation? Chapter 6. Angels, Spirit Guides, and Divine Messengers. The presence of the unseen. Throughout history, across different cultures and religions, countless individuals have reported encounters with celestial beings, angels, spirit guides, and divine messengers. These entities are said to offer guidance, protection, healing, and sometimes warnings of impending danger. Are these beings real? Are they manifestations of the subconscious mind, archetypal forces, or actual divine messengers from another dimension? 1. The concept of angels in different religious traditions. Angels in Christianity. Christianity presents angels as powerful spiritual beings created by God to serve as messengers, protectors, and warriors in the cosmic battle between good and evil. Archangels: Michael, the warrior; Gabriel, the messenger; Raphael, the healer; and Uriel, the wisdom keeper. Guardian angels, assigned to individuals for guidance and protection. Fallen angels, those who rebelled against God, led by Lucifer, becoming demons. Angels in Islam. Islam teaches that angels are created from light and serve as God's messengers. They are incapable of sin and carry out divine commands without question. Jibril, Gabriel, the angel who revealed the Quran to Prophet Muhammad. Michael, the angel of sustenance and mercy. Israfil, the angel who will blow the trumpet on Judgment Day. Malik and Ridwan, guardians of hell and paradise, respectively. Angels in Judaism. Jewish tradition describes angels as intermediaries between God and humanity, often appearing in dreams and visions. The Malachim, messengers, deliver divine messages. The seraphim and cherubim are high-ranking angels who serve in the divine presence. Angelic beings in Eastern traditions. Hinduism, devas, shining ones, are celestial beings that guide and protect. Buddhism, bodhisattvas and celestial beings assist those on the path to enlightenment. Taoism, immortal sages and divine messengers act as spiritual guides. 2. Spirit guides, guardians from the beyond. Spirit guides are believed to be non-physical entities that help individuals on their spiritual journey. They differ from angels in that they are often considered former human souls who have evolved to a higher state of wisdom. Types of spirit guides. 1. Ancestral guides, the spirits of deceased loved ones offering wisdom. 2. Animal guides, totems representing traits or strengths needed in one's life. 3. Ascended masters, highly enlightened beings like Jesus, Buddha, or Krishna. 4. Personal spirit guides, unique to each individual, guiding them throughout life. How spirit guides communicate. Through dreams and visions, intuitive feelings or sudden insights, signs and synchronicities, repeated numbers, symbols, or unexpected encounters. Messages channeled through meditation or automatic writing. Many cultures emphasize that spirit guides assist without interfering with free will, only stepping in when truly needed. 3. Divine messengers and their mission. Divine messengers are those sent by higher realms to deliver important revelations, often appearing at pivotal moments in history. Historical encounters with divine messengers: the angel Gabriel and Mary. Christianity and Islam. Gabriel announced the birth of Jesus. Joan of Arc's visions: she claimed to receive guidance from Saint Michael, leading her to victory in battle. The Prophet Muhammad's encounter: the Quran was revealed through angelic guidance. Ezekiel's vision. Judaism: descriptions of celestial beings in the Hebrew Bible. Are divine messengers real or psychological projections? Skeptics argue that divine messengers may be the result of heightened states of consciousness, psychological archetypes, or altered brain chemistry. However, the consistency of these encounters across time and cultures suggests there may be more to the phenomenon than mere hallucination. 4. Scientific and metaphysical perspectives on angels and guides. Psychological theories. Carl Jung's archetypes, angels and spirit guides could be manifestations of the collective unconscious. The bicameral mind theory: ancient people may have interpreted inner thoughts as voices from divine beings. Near-death experiences, NDEs. Many report seeing angels or divine figures during NDEs, raising the question of whether these beings exist in another dimension. Quantum and energy theories. Multiverse theory: could angels exist in parallel dimensions, occasionally interacting with ours? Energy fields and vibrations. Many spiritual traditions suggest that divine beings exist at higher vibrational frequencies beyond human perception. Dark matter and dark energy. Some physicists theorize that 95% of the universe consists of unseen forces. Could this be the realm where angels exist? 5. Modern-day angelic encounters. Despite skepticism, millions of people worldwide claim to have encountered angels or spirit guides in times of crisis. Documented cases. 911 survivors. Some report being guided by unseen hands or hearing voices directing them to safety. Medical miracles. Patients recovering against all odds often speak of being visited by angelic figures. Soldiers in war. Many accounts describe soldiers being saved by mysterious beings during battle. How to connect with angels and spirit guides. Meditation and prayer, invoking their presence through focused intention. Journaling, writing down experiences or messages received. Being open to signs, looking for synchronicities or symbolic messages. Are angels and spirit guides real? The debate over the existence of angels and spirit guides continues. Some believe these beings are literal divine entities, while others see them as aspects of the subconscious mind or unexplained natural phenomena. Regardless of belief, the concept of divine messengers has profoundly shaped human history, providing hope, guidance, and reassurance. Whether mystical or psychological, their presence in human consciousness remains undeniable. Have you ever felt guided by an unseen presence? Do you believe that angels or spirit guides exist, or are they symbolic manifestations of our higher selves? Chapter 7. The Power of Prayer and Intention. The silent force that moves the universe. Throughout history, prayer has been regarded as a powerful means of communication with the divine. Whether in moments of desperation, gratitude, or spiritual enlightenment, humans across all cultures have turned to prayer as a way to seek guidance, healing, and transformation. But what exactly happens when we pray? Is prayer merely a religious ritual, or does it hold a deeper, scientifically measurable power? Understanding prayer beyond religion. What is prayer? Prayer is traditionally understood as a conversation with God, the universe, or higher spiritual forces. It can take various forms, including petitionary prayer, asking for help, healing, or guidance. Intercessory prayer, praying on behalf of others. Gratitude prayer, expressing thanks for blessings received. Meditative prayer, contemplative prayer focused on inner peace and enlightenment. Affirmative prayer, used in metaphysical traditions, affirming a desired outcome as already present. While commonly associated with religious traditions, prayer extends beyond organized faith and is practiced in spiritual, philosophical, and even secular contexts. Prayer across different cultures and traditions. Christianity. Christians believe in the power of prayer to connect with God, seek forgiveness, and receive divine intervention. The Bible contains numerous examples of answered prayers, from Moses parting the Red Sea to Jesus performing miracles through faith. Islam. Muslims engage in salat, 5 daily prayers that align their consciousness with God. Additionally, supplication is used for personal requests, healing, and divine blessings. Hinduism. Hindus recite mantras, which are vibrational prayers believed to invoke divine energy. The Gayatri Mantra, for example, is said to bring enlightenment and wisdom. Buddhism. Buddhists focus on chanting and meditation, using prayers to cultivate mindfulness, compassion, and enlightenment. The Om Mani Padme Hum mantra is believed to purify the mind and elevate spiritual consciousness. Indigenous traditions. Many indigenous cultures use prayer in rituals, offerings, and dances to connect with ancestors, spirits, and nature. Native American smudging ceremonies incorporate prayers to cleanse and bless spaces. Mystical and New Thought traditions. Mystics and metaphysical thinkers believe in the power of affirmative prayer and law of attraction, where focused intention can manifest desires into reality. The science of prayer. Can it influence reality? Scientific studies on prayer. While skeptics argue that prayer is purely psychological, several studies have investigated its potential effects. The 1988 Bird study, San Francisco General Hospital. A double-blind study showed that patients who were prayed for experienced better recovery rates than those who weren't. The 2001 Columbia University study, women undergoing fertility treatments had a higher success rate when unknowingly receiving prayers from others. The Harvard study on meditation and prayer, 2016, found that prayer and meditation reduce stress, lower blood pressure, and enhance overall well-being. The placebo effect and prayer. The placebo effect demonstrates that belief alone can trigger healing, even in the absence of medical treatment. Could prayer work in a similar way, activating self-healing mechanisms in the brain and body? Quantum physics and the observer effect. Quantum experiments show that observation influences reality at a subatomic level. Some theorists suggest that focused prayer and intention might operate similarly, affecting probability and outcomes in ways we do not yet fully understand. The power of intention shaping reality with the mind. What is intention? Intention is the conscious act of focusing thought and energy toward a specific outcome. While prayer often involves divine invocation, intention can be practiced without religious beliefs. Experiments on intention. Dr. Masaru Emoto's water crystal experiments showed that human thoughts and prayers influence the molecular structure of water. The Global Consciousness Project found correlations between mass human emotions, for example, 9/11 global meditation events, and fluctuations in random number generators. Law of attraction and manifestation. The idea that thoughts become things is central to many self-development teachings. Visualization, affirmations, and intentional focus are used to align energy with desired outcomes. The role of faith and emotional state in prayer's effectiveness. Why some prayers are answered, and others aren't. People often wonder why some prayers seem to work while others go unanswered. Factors that may influence the effectiveness of prayer include faith and conviction. Strong belief enhances the emotional and mental energy behind prayer. Alignment with universal laws. Some spiritual traditions suggest that unanswered prayers may be due to divine timing or karma. Clarity and emotional charge. Highly charged emotional prayers may have a greater impact than routine or half-hearted prayers. Prayer versus worry. Where focus goes, energy flows. Fear-based prayers, pleading, desperation, may reinforce lack and uncertainty. Faith-based prayers, trust, gratitude, may create a stronger energetic alignment with positive outcomes. Practical techniques to strengthen prayer and intention. How to pray effectively. 1. Set clear intentions. Be specific about what you are asking for. 2. Engage emotionally. Feel the prayer as though it is already answered. 3. Express gratitude. Gratitude shifts energy from lack to abundance. 4. Surrender to higher wisdom. Release attachment to how and when it will happen. 5. Use repetition and rituals. Repeating prayers or affirmations strengthens focus and belief. Manifestation techniques. Visualization. Imagine the desired outcome vividly. Writing and journaling. Record intentions and prayers daily. Affirmations. Speak positive statements in the present tense. Meditative focus. Combine prayer with deep states of relaxation. Miraculous stories of prayer and intention in action. Real-life cases of prayer's power. Healing miracles. Terminally ill patients recovering unexpectedly. divine protection, people reporting unexplained guidance in life-threatening situations, financial and career breakthroughs, individuals manifesting opportunities through prayer and focused intention. These stories, while anecdotal, reinforce the idea that prayer and intention may influence reality in ways that science is still uncovering. The mystery of prayer and intention. While science has yet to fully explain the power of prayer and intention, the evidence suggests that focused thought, belief, and emotional energy can have profound effects on individuals and possibly even the external world. Key takeaways: prayer is a universal practice that transcends religion. Studies show that prayer and intention may influence health, emotions, and reality. Faith, emotion, and clarity enhance the power of prayer. Conscious intention can shape personal and collective experiences. Have you experienced the power of prayer or intention in your own life? Do you believe that prayer influences reality, or is it simply psychological? Chapter 8. The Thin Veil Between Worlds, Ghosts, Spirits, and the Afterlife. What lies beyond the physical? Since the dawn of civilization, humans have been fascinated, and often terrified, by the possibility of an existence beyond death. Every culture has legends of spirits, ghosts, and unseen entities that linger in the realm between life and the afterlife. Are these merely psychological projections, or is there a deeper truth to the idea that the veil between worlds is thin? The concept of the afterlife across cultures, ancient beliefs and mythologies. Many ancient cultures had sophisticated beliefs about the afterlife, often including elaborate rituals to ensure safe passage for the dead. Ancient Egypt. Egyptians believed in the Ka, life force, and Ba, soul, which continued to exist after death. The Book of the Dead provided instructions for navigating the afterlife. Greek mythology. The Greeks believed in the underworld, ruled by Hades, where souls resided based on their deeds in life. Hinduism and Buddhism. These traditions speak of samsara, the cycle of rebirth, and karma, which determines the quality of one's next life. Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. These Abrahamic religions describe heaven and hell as final destinations, with judgment determining one's fate. Indigenous and shamanic views. Many indigenous cultures believe that spirits of the dead remain connected to the living world. Shamans, medicine men, and mystics often communicate with these spirits for guidance and healing. Native American traditions. Spirits are considered guardians and ancestors who influence the living. African spirituality. Ancestor veneration is a key aspect, with rituals performed to honor and seek blessings from the dead. Celtic beliefs. The Celts believed that the veil between worlds was thinnest during Samhain, modern Halloween, allowing spirits to cross over. Ghosts and hauntings. Are they real? Types of ghosts and spirit phenomena. Throughout history, people have reported encounters with spirits in various forms. Some common types include 1. Residual hauntings, energy imprints left behind in a location, replaying like a recording, for example, ghostly figures walking the same path. 2. Intelligent spirits, ghosts that seem aware, interact with the living, and respond to stimuli. 3. Poltergeists, entities associated with physical disturbances, objects moving, unexplained noises, and electrical interference. 4. Shadow people, dark, shadow-like figures reported in paranormal encounters. 5. Doppelgangers, ghostly doubles of living individuals, often seen as omens. Famous hauntings and paranormal cases. Several locations and incidents have been extensively documented. The Tower of London, haunted by the ghosts of Anne Boleyn and other historical figures. The Amityville Horror, a controversial case of an allegedly haunted house, leading to books and films. The Myrtles Plantation, USA, one of America's most haunted locations, where spirits of former slaves and plantation owners are said to roam. The Enfield Poltergeist, UK, a well-documented case of a poltergeist terrorizing a family in the 1970s. Near-death experiences, NDEs, and afterlife encounters. Common themes in NDEs. People who have had near-death experiences report strikingly similar phenomena: a feeling of leaving the body, out-of-body experience, traveling through a tunnel toward a bright light, encountering deceased loved ones or spiritual beings, a life review where past actions are relived and judged, a sense of peace and reluctance to return to life. Scientific explanations for NDEs. Skeptics argue that NDEs are hallucinations caused by oxygen deprivation in the brain. the brain's response to trauma and death, the release of DMT, a naturally occurring psychedelic compound. However, some NDEs involve verifiable details. People report seeing events from an out-of-body perspective, which they could not have known otherwise. Theories on consciousness beyond death. Quantum consciousness theory suggests that consciousness exists independently of the brain and may continue after death. The holographic universe theory proposes that reality itself is a projection, making the afterlife another dimension of existence. Spirits and mediumship. Can we communicate with the dead? Mediums and psychics throughout history, from ancient oracles to modern spiritualists, many claim to have the ability to contact the dead. The Oracle of Delphi, ancient Greece, a priestess who communicated with the gods. The Fox sisters, 1848, credited with sparking the spiritualist movement through alleged communication with spirits. Edgar Cayce, 20th century, known as the sleeping prophet, he channeled messages from the spirit world. Modern mediums, many claim to receive messages from beyond, with some demonstrating astonishing accuracy. Scientific studies on mediumship. Dr. Gary Schwartz at the University of Arizona conducted experiments showing that trained mediums were able to provide information with statistical accuracy beyond chance. The Society for Psychical Research has studied cases of spirit communication since the 19th century. However, skepticism remains high due to cases of fraud and cold reading techniques used by some mediums. Paranormal investigations seeking proof of the afterlife. Technology used in ghost hunting. Modern ghost hunters use scientific tools to detect spirit activity. EMF meters measure electromagnetic fluctuations, believed to indicate spirit presence. Infrared cameras capture images of anomalies and ghostly figures. EVP, electronic voice phenomena recordings, captures voices not heard by the human ear. Thermal imaging detects heat signatures, sometimes showing unexplained forms. Famous paranormal investigators. Harry Price, 1881–1948, one of the first to scientifically investigate hauntings. Ed and Lorraine Warren, famous demonologists who investigated cases like Amityville and Annabelle the Doll. Modern ghost hunters. TV shows such as Ghost Adventures and The Dead Files have popularized paranormal investigations. The thin veil, when worlds overlap. Times when the veil is thinnest. Certain times and locations are believed to make spirit contact easier. Sam Hain, Halloween, the ancient festival when the dead are closest to the living. The witching hour, 3 a.m., a time associated with heightened paranormal activity. Sacred locations, cemeteries, ancient ruins, battlefields, and religious sites often have stronger spiritual presence. How to safely interact with spirits. 1. Set clear intentions. Always approach spiritual encounters with respect. 2. Use protective rituals. Many traditions use prayer, salt, or sacred symbols to ward off negative entities. 3. Avoid inviting unknown spirits. Opening portals without knowledge can lead to unwanted hauntings. The mystery remains. The existence of ghosts, spirits, and the afterlife remains one of humanity's greatest mysteries. While skeptics demand scientific proof, countless personal experiences, historical accounts, and paranormal investigations suggest that the veil between worlds may be thinner than we think. Have you ever experienced an encounter with a spirit? Do you believe in an afterlife, or is consciousness purely biological? If spirits exist, what does that mean about the nature of reality itself? Chapter 9. Awakening Your Inner Mystic. Every human being has the potential to access higher wisdom, perceive deeper truths, and connect with the unseen forces of the universe. Mysticism is not reserved for monks, sages, or prophets. It is a path open to anyone willing to cultivate spiritual awareness, intuition, and inner transformation. Awakening your inner mystic means expanding your perception beyond the physical senses, tuning into the subtle energies around you, and unlocking latent abilities that allow you to experience life on a higher plane. This chapter will guide you through the principles, practices, and mindsets necessary to awaken your inner mystic and embark on a profound spiritual journey. Understanding mysticism. What does it mean to be a mystic? Mysticism across cultures and traditions. Mysticism has existed in every major religious and spiritual tradition. Christian mysticism. Figures like Saint John of the Cross and Meister Eckhart sought direct union with the divine through prayer and contemplation. Sufi mysticism. Islam Sufis, such as Rumi and Al-Ghazali, practice love, devotion, and ecstatic states to connect with God. Hindu and Buddhist mysticism. Yogis and monks seek enlightenment through meditation, self-discipline, and transcendental states. Kabbalah. Jewish mysticism. Mystics explore the hidden meanings of the Torah, divine energy, and the tree of life. Shamanism. Indigenous mystics, known as shamans, communicate with spirits, enter altered states, and use rituals for healing. Signs you have a mystical calling. You may already be on the path of the mystic if you feel drawn to the mysteries of existence and deeper truths. Experience moments of profound intuition or knowing. Sense energies, auras, or presences beyond the material world. Have vivid dreams, visions, or synchronistic events that feel meaningful. Feel a deep connection to nature, the cosmos, or divine forces. Expanding consciousness, the mystic's way of seeing reality. Breaking free from limited perception. Mysticism requires transcending the ordinary way of seeing reality. The material world is just one aspect of existence, beyond it lies an infinite field of consciousness. Ways to expand your perception include mindfulness and presence. The more present you are, the more you notice the subtle, mystical aspects of life. Questioning reality. Instead of accepting things at face value, ask, what is the deeper truth? Recognizing the illusion of separation. Everything is interconnected. The mystic sees unity rather than division. The role of intuition and inner guidance. Mystics develop strong intuition, allowing them to receive insights beyond logic. Strengthen your intuitive abilities by practicing stillness and silence, paying attention to gut feelings and inner nudges, trusting synchronistic events as guidance from the universe, awakening spiritual senses, developing mystical abilities, activating the third eye, inner vision. The Ajna chakra, or third eye, is believed to be the center of higher perception. Practices to activate it include meditation focused on the space between the eyebrows, visualization exercises, imagine a glowing light in your third eye, fasting and purification to enhance clarity, tuning into higher frequencies. Mystics attune their consciousness to higher vibrations through mantras and sacred sounds. Chanting helps shift awareness to divine frequencies. Breathwork, deep, rhythmic breathing alters consciousness and expands perception. Sacred geometry and symbols, contemplating mystical symbols, for example, the flower of life, the Sri Yantra, unlocks deeper understanding. Enhancing your dream and visionary states. Mystics receive messages through dreams and visions. Strengthen this ability by keeping a dream journal to record spiritual insights. Practicing lucid dreaming to explore other dimensions. Using guided visualization to access spiritual guidance. The mystic's connection to the unseen world. Communing with spirit guides and higher beings. Mystics often report contact with angelic, divine, or enlightened beings. You can develop this connection through prayer and invocation. Ask for guidance from higher realms. Meditation on light beings. Visualize meeting a spiritual guide in meditation. Automatic writing. Allow insights to flow through writing without conscious interference. Understanding energy and auras. Mystics perceive the energetic field around people, places, and objects. Strengthen this ability by practicing aura gazing, softly looking at a person's energy field. Learning to sense vibrational shifts in environments. Cleansing your own energy through sound, crystals, or water rituals. The mystic's path practices for daily awakening. 1. Meditation and contemplation. A mystic's greatest tool is the ability to quiet the mind and enter deep contemplation. Recommended methods include stillness meditation, simply observe thoughts without attachment. Contemplative inquiry, meditate on profound questions, for example, who am I? What is the nature of existence? Sound meditation, use singing bowls, chanting, or binaural beats to shift consciousness. 2. Nature connection. Many mystics find enlightenment in nature. Try walking in the forest and absorbing its silence. Meditating by a river or ocean to attune to flow and change. Observing the stars to feel connected to the cosmos. 3. Sacred rituals and symbols. Rituals create a bridge between the physical and spiritual worlds. Incorporate incense and sacred herbs. Burning sage or frankincense clears energy. Altar creation, a personal sacred space with symbols, candles, and meaningful objects. Moon rituals harness the lunar cycle for introspection and manifestation. Mysticism and everyday life, living with divine awareness. The mystic's perspective on reality. A true mystic doesn't separate spirituality from daily life. Instead, they see the divine in the ordinary, approach challenges as lessons for growth, cultivate unconditional love and compassion, overcoming fear and doubt. Many people fear stepping into mystical experiences due to fear of the unknown, doubts about their own spiritual abilities, societal skepticism toward mystical knowledge. The key is to trust the process, embrace the unknown, and be open to experience without rigid expectations. Walking the mystic's path. Awakening your inner mystic is not about acquiring supernatural powers, it's about deepening your connection to the universe, expanding your consciousness, and living with divine awareness. What mystical experiences have you already had? How can you integrate mystical practices into your daily life? Are you ready to embrace the unknown and walk the path of the mystic? The journey begins within. The veil is thin, and the universe is waiting for you to see beyond it. Chapter 10. How to invite the supernatural. Miracles have fascinated humanity for centuries. They defy logic, break the rules of conventional reality, and bring awe-inspiring transformation. But are miracles random, or can they be consciously invited into our lives? Ancient mystics, spiritual masters, and even modern scientists suggest that miracles follow specific principles, what we might call the alchemy of miracles. Just as alchemy sought to turn base metals into gold, spiritual alchemy transforms ordinary existence into an extraordinary, miraculous life. Understanding miracles, divine intervention or natural law. What is a miracle? A miracle is often described as an event that defies natural law. For example, spontaneous healing, walking on water, is highly improbable yet happens anyway. For example, surviving a fatal accident unscathed brings profound transformation. For example, sudden enlightenment, life-changing synchronicity. Mystics, sages, and spiritual traditions suggest that miracles are not random but rather follow hidden universal laws. Types of miracles. Miracles manifest in various ways: physical miracles, healing from incurable diseases, survival against all odds. Financial miracles, unexpected windfalls, opportunities appearing at the perfect moment. Emotional and spiritual miracles, profound peace, divine guidance, enlightenment. Synchronicities and signs, meaningful coincidences, dreams foretelling the future. The laws governing miracles. Miracles seem supernatural because they operate on laws that go beyond ordinary perception. Some key principles include the law of faith, belief and expectation open the gateway to miraculous experiences. The law of vibration, miracles occur when we raise our consciousness to higher frequencies. The law of cause and effect, every miracle follows a sequence of spiritual causes, even if unseen. The alchemical process of miracles. Miracles don't just happen randomly, they are invited. The alchemy of miracles follows a transformation process, much like an alchemist refining base materials into gold. Step 1. Setting a clear intention. Clarity is key when inviting a miracle. Instead of vague hopes, set a specific intention. Instead of "I want to be healthy," say, "I am experiencing complete healing and vitality." Instead of "I want financial breakthrough," say, "I receive divine provision and abundance effortless." Step 2. Aligning with higher frequencies. Miracles occur when we attune to divine consciousness. Ways to raise your vibration include gratitude. A thankful heart attracts blessings. Joy and love, emotions of high frequency, create a fertile ground for miracles. Music and sound, chanting, mantras, and uplifting music shift consciousness. Step 3. Activating faith and unwavering belief. Doubt blocks miracles. True belief opens the door. Act as if your miracle has already happened. Visualize the outcome daily with absolute conviction. Use affirmations: "I am a magnet for divine miracles." Step 4. Opening the heart to receive. Miracles require receptivity. Common blocks to receiving include fear of unworthiness, "I don't deserve this." Resistance to change, "What if my life changes too much?" Logical doubt, "This is impossible." Overcome this by practicing surrender, let go of how and when the miracle will come. Trust, believe that divine timing is perfect. Allowing, be open to receiving in unexpected ways. Step 5. Taking inspired action. Faith without action is ineffective. Align your actions with your intentions. If you're seeking healing, practice self-care, follow holistic treatments, and stay in high energy. If you're seeking financial breakthrough, take opportunities, work towards your goals, and act with confidence. If you're seeking divine guidance, meditate, seek silence, and listen. The role of prayer, meditation, and energy in miracles. The power of prayer in inviting miracles. Prayer is a direct channel to the divine, activating spiritual forces. Affirmative prayer: declare the miracle as already present. For example, thank you for my healing. Intercessory prayer: seeking divine intervention for others, magnifies miracle energy. Silent prayer: being still and receptive, invites divine wisdom. Meditation as a portal to miraculous realities. Meditation shifts consciousness, opening portals for supernatural experiences. Contemplative meditation, reflecting on divine mysteries, expands awareness. Guided visualization, imagining the miracle before it happens, aligns energy. Mantra meditation, chanting sacred sounds, raises vibrations. Harnessing energy fields and frequency alignment. Energy work plays a significant role in miracles. Methods include Reiki and healing touch. Energy healing clears blockages. Crystal energy, certain stones, for example, clear quartz, amethyst, amplify miraculous frequencies. Sacred geometry, meditating on symbols like the flower of life enhances spiritual manifestation. Signs that a miracle is near. When a miracle is about to manifest, subtle signs often appear: increased synchronicities, meaningful coincidences intensify. Repetitive symbols, seeing the same numbers, images, or messages repeatedly. Inner knowing, a deep sense of peace or assurance before the miracle unfolds. Unexpected breakthroughs, doors opening effortless, people appearing at the right time. Recognizing these signs encourages faith and accelerates manifestation. Overcoming doubts and blocks to miracles. Many people unknowingly block their own miracles due to 1. Skepticism and logical resistance. Solution: adopt a childlike openness. Miracles occur beyond logic. 2. Unworthiness and low self-esteem. Solution: affirm daily, I am worthy of divine blessings. 3. Attachment to outcomes. Solution: release control and trust divine timing. 4. Negative energy and low vibrations. Solution: surround yourself with positivity, high-energy people, and uplifting environments. Real-life accounts of miracles. 1. The miracle of healing. A woman diagnosed with a terminal illness miraculously recovers after intense prayer and visualization. Doctors are baffled. 2. The financial miracle. A struggling entrepreneur writes down a vision of abundance. Within weeks, an unexpected investor appears. 3. The divine intervention. A man narrowly avoids a fatal accident after hearing an unexplained inner voice telling him to stop his car. These cases remind us that miracles are possible for everyone who aligns with divine laws. Becoming an alchemist of miracles. Miracles are not reserved for saints and prophets, they are accessible to anyone willing to cultivate faith, align with higher consciousness, and take inspired action. Final reflect irons: are you ready to invite miracles into your life? What limiting beliefs must you release? How can you align with the frequency of the miraculous today? The universe is abundant with miracles, waiting for those bold enough to believe. Will you become an alchemist of miracles?